This video is going to show you solo GM getting platinum rank. Just to kind of remind people, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, as it's important to the success of the channel on this platform. The way YouTube works to be successful, part of its watch time, part of it's how much you watch, yes, but another indicator of success is how many subscribers you have. So if you're somebody who regularly watches solo endgame stuff being done on my channel, make sure you hit subscribe. It's the biggest thing that you can do to help me out. Also, make sure that you do what I've just said for other smaller channels that also solo stuff endgame wise in PvE, because some of the smaller underground channels, I call them like underground channel, who aren't well known, some of these, you know, players from France and all these countries that are players that you've never heard of, and if you've seen them play and you thought, wow, that was an amazing play, make sure you subscribe to those types of players as well. Right, because the Rick Ackerses of the world, right? They're eating big. Okay, they're fat. The rest of us underground channels, we're skinny. We're skinny on views, and I see it starting to upset people. So make sure you help the smaller people out, the grassroots content creators. Now watch this. You might miss it. There we go. So this strat is mimicking the Legend of Acreus strat that we used on our previous video. It's basically mimicking that, seeing what Fourth Horseman does with his ×3 buff with the oscillation, because when we've got a ×3 buff, the weapon does the ×3. All right, but if we pair that with like a shotgun, it's doing massive damage, meaning that you can melt down barrier champs because it's barrier shotgun. All right, so this is basically working as good as Acreus, maybe not as ammo economical, but I didn't run special finisher. So if I wanted to be even better with my ammo and spam it even more, then special finisher would have been actually quite nice in this run. So if I was to run it back right now, I probably would put on special finisher and do that. I'm not going to run it back though, because the run's authentic, right? So we'll just show you it. That's fine. Now, on this section, I don't recommend that you don't need to pop a Transcendence, only if you speedrun it, but use a super here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a super here, right, which we're just sort of waiting for our HP to regen and get a good angle. This guy's come over here, but he's, yeah, that's it. That's okay. We got our invis kill. We're using the exotic class item with Assassin's Cowl. Well, the invis, sorry, part of it. We use our super here. You only need to kill so many of the ads, not all of them, to proc this area, secure the area CP to be done. And basically we're done. It just means that now we've got a fresh Transcendence to pop, because you want to pop it on the next section. It is a wipe place. You can easily wipe there because there's going to be a Bane, and the Gladiators hit really hard, and Chill Touch is on. So I think either or, it's up to you. You can pop a Transcendence on the first one and then super here. I think both methods work. It's up to you. I like using Transcendence here though, because it deals with all of the Gladiators, the dogs, and the barrier with one pop. So I'm looking at my Transcendences and thinking, what am I getting out of the Transcendence? And what I've just said to you, by us being able to kill all dogs, barrier, Gladiator, Bane, and everything, I think it's well worth a pop here. So that's, you know, if you're on a Prismatic Titan, I think this is where you should pop your Transcendence right now. We don't need to deal with snipers, of course. We just finish off the remaining dogs. That's fine. Proc Sword, really nice in this run, it was. Because we're getting plenty of finisher kills. See, with the Invis class piece with Synthoceps on a Titan, it's very good for when we need to do a mechanic like dunk a battery or an orb, which is plentiful in GMs. It's plentiful where we need to go and dunk something. And if you can go invis on a kill, then go and dunk while you're invis, it's really valuable. Now we need to get a ×3 weapon decay for our scout rifle, because that's going to mean we get the buff for our shotgun, because the shotgun and the scout are playing off each other for the buff. The buff and the debuff. My heavy is actually a pseudo heavy in this case. So what I mean by that is I don't want the heavy to be on the oscillation list. The mods. What is it? Grenade launcher, SMG. I know you can't use a heavy SMG, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want a grenade launcher in my heavy slot because it's playing off oscillation. I just wanted the scout and the shotgun to manage the weapon decay and buff. And I wanted the heavy to be a Adclear style weapon, support weapon. That is it. It's just for chip damage. For example, to get it ultra finishable. Basically, my build with Consecration, Invis, plus DPS with 4th Horseman is doing everything for us. If we could unequip a heavy in Destiny 2, you can't, by the way. But if you could, basically that's what this run is. It's me doing it without a heavy. Well, it isn't, but the run is basically foolproof without having a heavy. Because the shotgun's satisfying all DPS needs. For boss, freshers, champs, everything. The scout is satisfying barrier needs from range and adds from range and snipers. And my super and my transcendence pops satisfying everything else. So there's actually no role for a heavy. So whenever you're in that situation, you're like, I don't even know what heavy I should run here. Just pop on a machine gun in anything that you're thinking about. It's not just this. When I'm saying about this sort of stuff, we're not just talking about arms dealer. I'm talking about endgame stuff here. Same goes for Eager Edge Sword. Obviously, speedrunners, you'll see they run double special and an Eager Edge Sword, right? Because then that's going to mean that the special split, and that if they do need a special break, they can get a quick swords kill, and then they get that special break. Also being able to speed through the GM. Same if you run double special and a machine gun. Now in this run I wanted the scout on just for ease of use with the weapon DK. Okay, and if I want to play from range for a little bit, then I have that option with the scout. It's versatile. We didn't do the best super pop here. You want to pop super, then transcendence. I just didn't get the best super pop there, to be honest. But pop that first, because then when you pop a transcendence, you're working towards your next super. Now you can kill all these enemies with one transcendence pop if you're quick enough with your melee charges. But I'm not speedrunning this. I'm not trying to do a 20-minute run. The run's pretty good. We optimized this time the tank room, whereas my accuracy strat, I didn't optimize, the tank room, whereas on this run I actually did a little bit better of a job in there, because that's generally where I've been losing times on runs, is the tank room with the Tormentor. But not on this. So look at that, like being able to stun and unstop and then just melt him in 5 shots. The gun carries what? Let's think about this. 18 shots. So accuracy is more economical, in my opinion, because it's doing more damage per shot. But it would do, though, wouldn't it? Because it's a heavy weapon. Whereas 4th Horseman's a special weapon. But the fact that it's competing with accuracy in this strategy is quite insane. Accuracy is a weapon that speedrunners often use for niche things that they need to do. They might need to overcome a problem where they need to melt a VIP target or something, or they need to do special DPS that's niche against a special boss, and it's within a rotation. Speedrunners use it a lot, but I don't see a lot of players, let's say intermediate players who are not speedrunning but are very good at the game, not using 4th Horseman. You can almost certainly use 4th Horseman this season with barrier shotgun. It's going to overcharge it, and it's going to allow your melee builds to be very potent, because you can follow up a Consecration Slam, then use the shotgun. Okay? So it's actually really good that way. We're going to slacken off our ammo usage a little bit here. I've just gotten a brick though, so we're good. But these enemies are basically killable. I should have shotted this guy, to be honest. Probably should have shotgunned him, because I could immediately delete him. Obviously, we have got the kinetic tremor scout on. All right. Now, I know that I've got the weapon damage DK ×3, but I've said previously in my video, kinetic tremors is that strong, it overcomes oscillation. It basically penetrates the mod, because of that fact alone, it makes me happy to use the scout, whether I can't get the buff again or not, because I can't easily get the buff again with the shotgun from 50 meters away on a target, can I? But it doesn't matter, because kinetic tremors overcomes it. Right? Now I'm going to use the machine gun on the gun here, just see how good it takes out the gun, which Hammerhead's melting in this, I'll be honest. I was surprised on how well Hammerhead is doing in this. It's also good to run on a Prismatic Titan because the Origin perk says if you have a light subclass on, you get grenade energy. If you have a dark subclass on, you get melee energy. That's kind of good on a Prismatic Titan. That's actually nice. I liked that where we are just starting to kill ads with a machine gun or something and say we're lower on melee charge. It's nice just to be able to back off, do a couple of LMG kills, then go back to Prismatic Titan things. I just think it was kind of nice, and that's not something I thought about before I started the run. I forgot that Origin trait gives you melee energy when you're on a dark subclass. I guess because I haven't used Hammerhead for a while. I haven't used it for a bit, right? I guess because I haven't got the god roll on it. I mean, this one's good. Kill and Tally is a good perk in endgame. 4th times the charm's fantastic on machine guns because you're just getting more ammo as a result, and it's very, very nice. We're just taking this champ at our leisure here because I don't see any green special bricks knocking about, and we're on 13, and I do not want to approach tank room with low special. So, yeah. Again, I think Special Ammo Finder would be half decent on this, which I generally don't use Special Ammo builds, but because of the ammo that it holds and how quickly you can shred with it, I think that would have been nice. We're going to pop some slams here because just to clean them up quickly. That's fine. He's finishable. There's 1-2 ads left. Basically, that's fine. We've got a super to pop and a transcendence. I'm going to pop my super here because I just kind of like popping super on these ads here because you take pretty much all of them out. And that's basically what we're going to do. So we've got our dunk. We did get a special finder brick there. I've got special ammo finder on the helmet, which definitely did help out in the run. So whenever you're thinking about your run and you are using a support style heavy, but your special weapon's very important to your build, you might want to start using special ammo finders as opposed to heavy ammo finder. It's the stock loadout. I've been using heavy ammo finder. I'm probably the longest serving player to use heavy ammo finder. Like, I have stocks in the mod heavy ammo finder because I've banged on about it. How long have I banged on about heavy ammo finders for? But I think it's not as important of a mod as it used to be because we're starting to introduce, maybe run hands-on, maybe run ashes to assets on these Roman super builds. It's probably worth to run like a double, hands-on or something rather than a finder. All depends on what you do, and you don't take it as gospel as what I'm saying to you. I'm just saying sometimes, we might want to do a bit more build crafting as opposed to ammo crafting on the build. This section here, we're going to deal with the barrier first. We're going to take out the 2 snipers because I am annoyed with I do get annoyed at this section with all the snipers. Look at this. All these cabals stomping this barrier. They're doing it for the Vanguard, look. Look at this. We don't need to spend I'm spending no special on this fool. Why should I? Although he give me a brick. We'll take this sniper here. That's fine. We can get him finishable, de-aggro any meteors. If that starts to happen, we'll do a consecration slam here. Just quickly kill these guys. But now I'm honestly thinking at the minute ammo. I guess that's why I took this much slower because I'm wanting an ammo brick. I'm at 172, which is roughly half of my ammo capacity. So I'm thinking double tank room. Well, there's not double tanks, but that's what I call it because that's what it used to be. I'm wanting a brick and I'm not getting one here, so that's why I killed all the enemies here. I know that I can skip them all, but I was want to kill to try and get a brick, which I did not get a brick. I guess because I don't have heavy ammo finder on what I just told you, but the shotgun's more important than the machine gun in this case anyways. And, we've got half our armor capacity, so we're good enough. Okay, so we're going to come into the tank room and pop a transcendence. If we can, and hopefully try and take out some of these annoying gladiators. But I have not got Sympho's proc, so it is hurting me. I get it now, but tank has now spawned in. So the groupings of the gladiators wasn't brilliant there. We need to deal with these snipers, which the tank, I'm noticing the tank's not really pushing us, firing at us, should I say, when we're up here. So I'm just going to deal with the snipers on that bridge. We did fall down here though, but I notice all of these gladiators are finishable. So even though we didn't have Symphos procced on some of these, I was able to deal with a lot of the gladiators because they were finishable. It meant that I could now start to play like a Graviton forfeit hunter all of a sudden. Now on this run I'm experimenting, so don't worry about it. I'm experimenting to see what is it like when we fight from here at the tank section. And in actual fact, it's alright. So say for example you're on Polaris Lance, it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually sparrow all the way back here and then fight the tank from here. I could pop Behemoth on the tank right now, but I'm going to pop it on the Tormentor instead because my runs this week have been slow with the Tormentor. I'm calling myself out. Yes, you're very right. I've been a slow-ass Titan with the Tormentor this week. So I don't want that to happen on this run so much. We're going to use our super on him. Then we're going to Transcendence him and shotty him down quickly with Fourth Horseman. So that's why I'm deciding, okay, instead of me, using a super on this tank, let's just get rid of the tank because the tank is dead. You spend an extra minute on this little bit here, yeah. But the upside is I've got a full Transcendence and a full super to go and pop right now. And, I just think that's kind of nice. So we're just finishing this tank off. Again, this is just me experimenting. I've never stood here before on this section, as in during this day and age of Armsdale. I have in the past, all the way back when Armsdale first launched, but that was a different era of the game. We'll get a Glacier Grenade in the entrance of this door because I know that the barrier spawns. So this was a very good Transcendence pop. For my standards at least, it was pretty good. So we get a Transcendence pop, melt the barrier down. Then we're going to push up because we've got plenty of Transcendence to kill all of these adds, which is really nice. It's going to save me quite a bit of time. Right, we got knocked back there, unfortunately, but that's fine. Okay, now we just want to clear out all the unstops, all the adds, and that's exactly what we've did. So now, if you see that, because we played slower at the tank, it allowed me to basically spawn kill the barrier and all the unstops because I had my Transcendence to pop, and I also have a super, which I'm about to use. I might have got my super back, you could argue, probably, and I could have supered the tank instead, but sometimes the tank kills you in your super, and it's very annoying to die to the tank in your super. It sometimes happens. It's inconsistent is what I'm saying to you. Sometimes I can come in here, super him, and he kills me while I'm in my Glacial Quake. Why? I don't know, but sometimes that happens. We use a super here. We're going to try and clear out all the turrets, but this one turret's being annoying, and we're getting sniped. I do not know where that sniper is, so I'm going to drop down, but we've just done massive damage and cleared out a lot of adds there, which means it's basically us and the Tormentor. There's some dogs that spawned in, which I know that they do spawn in. They're right here. So I guess we're going to build up towards our next super by Consecration slamming them anyways. We have Transcendence to pop, which that's fantastic, because that's exactly what we need, and we're going to melt this Tormentor with Fourth Horseman. Obviously, I've got my weapon buff loaded on the Fourth Horseman already, so that's procced. I don't need to worry about it at all. We just want to break these shoulder pads off this boss, which I'm going to whip out the shotgun for, because obviously Kinetic Tremors is doing immunity damage, because that's happening. So I'm going to whip it out. I should be doing that now, to be honest. So yep, that's it. That's the damage dealt. Now we're going to pop a Transcendence right away, because for some reason he stopped. I don't know why. We'll do a Consecration Slam, and then all 4 Horsemen melt. Because obviously, Tormentors are weakened to precision damage. We get the finisher kill, allows us just to go, past the adds. They despawn anyways, though, I guess. So that was fine. So yeah, that's a bit dealt with. Really handy was 4 Horsemen for that section. You could even 4 Horsemen the tank. I could have been a brave little Titan and done that, but on this run, I just, as I say, I just melted the first tank from a distance instead. So this room, we're pushing up to the left. Our aim is to get this boss away from these turrets as soon as get the turrets away. That's exactly what we're doing. We're thinking about ammo as well. We're on 8, but I'm pretty sure we should get 2 or 3 bricks in this room at least. At least. What I could do as well, which again, if I was to redo the run, I'm not going to, but if I was to, I would have put special ammo finder on my enhanced Patron of Lost Causes. The only reason why I'm using backup mag on it is because it's simple. It gives you more kinetic tremors as a result. But to be honest, as I say, that's not a difference maker. I may as well have just run special ammo finder, and it would have allowed me to run. It probably would have allowed me to spam 4th Horseman a bit more. Bear in mind, so far I haven't spammed it that much, have I? And I'm on 8. You know, I'm a mag away from being nothing. So I probably have been cautious in the right ways on this run, even though, you know, I didn't put special ammo finder on my gun, yeah, but I did have it on my helmet. Despite that, I'm adjusting to the run. So there's this thing where we're evaluating ammo after each room and looking at bricks. There's a brick right there. These turrets are melting us for some reason from there. They just generally happen. But you need to adjust on the run as you're going. You need to have some adaptive style of play. Let's call it adaptive munitions if you want. You need to get an adaptive munitions baseball cap on and then sort of evaluate your gameplay as you're going. That doesn't mean you stop for 20 seconds and think to yourself, I've got less ammo. Let's think about this. I don't mean that. You need to, you know, be thinking in real time as you're actively fighting the combatants. Right, what's my ammo looking like? As you're doing kinetic tremor damage, which is easy to do, that you don't need to think. So while you're doing your kinetic tremor damage, which I'm right, where's my heavy? Because I'm low on heavy here. Right, what are we going to do next? We should probably pop a transcendence here because we've got one to use, which I'm about to use. That I just need to make sure that there's not too many adds up as I go and pop it. But I'm going to prime some of these ads anyways. I'm going to prime the champ at least, or we may even get a shield break then pop transcendence. May as well do it like that. So yeah, we'll get a shield break, pop a transcendence here, or we'll do a consecration slam. My bad, we didn't pop a transcendence. I thought I was about to do that, but we are just using our shotty here to melt the rest of the ads. Just take him out because there is special behind me, so it's worth using, which I'm about to go and pick up. We've got one more unstop to kill. I hope that wasn't a heavy brick I just saw. There's some saying things. We do end up getting the ammo, the correct ammo for Hammerhead. It ends up working out all right. And I'm making it sound like it's a massive problem to the day. It isn't. I'm just, like I said, trying to drill it into you how important and you know, your management of ammo. The less skilled you are, the better you have to actually be to manage your ammo. Crazily enough. Okay? You have to be better at that because especially, you know, some players that, you know, panic with their ammo. I've seen it actively where they panic with their heavy and stuff. I'm not on about like speedrun style players. I'm on about more intermediate players who do upload runs, but go through phases of panic. You can actively see it through their gameplay. They don't even have to say a word. I can actually see it. The video tells me I can see it where people panic. Try not to do that. I have this playstyle of slacking off with the heavy, then go with the heavy. But the longer you play the run where you slacken off on ammo-wise, so say for example you're at the final boss of any GM, it's not just arms dealer, this applies to all GMs. If you slacken off with the ammo a little bit, on phase 2 and 3, you're going to have bricks on the floor, which will exceed your total ammo count. Right? So say for example a machine gun holds 300 and there's 3 bricks on the floor and each brick is worth 100. You've actually got 600 ammo. You've doubled your ammo capacity by just not picking up the bricks. That means on phase 2 and 3 you can spam machine gun ammo. You have license. When I say you have license to do that, what that means is you can go ham with it. Whereas say you've got 100 ammo and no bricks on the floor and you're approaching phase 2, that can put you off as a player because then you're like, oh, what do I do on phase 3 of Luminality? I've got no heavy. How am I going to deal with the ad spawns? Whereas on phase 1 and 2, if you had slackened off a little bit with your heavy ammo usage and maybe relied on your exotic primary or whatever, you would have been better off as a result. I know that there's guns that can make ammo now, but I'm just giving you a example of where the ammo concerns can ruin runs. This was more true in the past, not as true now, but it was very true in the past because ads were more tankier. Everything was more tankier. Red bars was. Now watch this melt. We're going to do a consecration slam because we'll get radiant. We don't want to go too close to the boss because he does that dumb melee stomp. He does it to me here, look. See that damage he does? That's so crazy. I wasn't even near him. And he still hit us. But look at that. We get him to a third. It's like the Acria strat. It's maybe slightly worse, but it's doing the same thing. It's achieving the same goal. It is basically melting that boss so that all ad waves come out at once, which is exactly what I want. And that we can then deal with all the ads quicker because they've all come out at once. We just need to be careful of the turret. If we are in super or transcendence, the turret cannot kill us. But if we do not have super or transcendence and we've only got maybe one melee charge, we use it and say we don't go invis, the turret could kill us. So it's safe enough to fight when the turret is alive to a point, but you really want to maybe at least kill some of the ads so that they de-aggro. Because let's give you an example here, because this is something that I don't think anyone's told you. Say for example there's 50 enemies on the battlefield. They're going to push you like crazy. They're aggroed on you. They're strong in numbers. They want to nade you all the time, over and over and over. Whereas say you get down, you deplete the enemies by half, 50 or 70%. Say there's 10 enemies left as opposed to 50. Those 10 enemies are going to be more tactical and they're going to go and hide. That is perfect. We want them to hide because that gives us breathing space to do something, whatever it might be. So in Arms Dealer, for example, it gives me breathing space to shoot the damn turret off. But the ads won't need me as much because I've depleted them more than half. Are you seeing this? Whereas before they were giving me a lot of problems. Well, not really problems, but they were pushing me. They were doing this, they were doing that. Whereas the gladiators and all that stuff, and the VIP, he's not pushing. That's when we go in for turret kill. We go in for turret kill, then we can deal with the rest. Now the turrets, if there's any turrets left up in mid, definitely deal with them. We do not have Sympho's proxies. I'm just going to melt them. Look at that melt. I'm just going to melt them with 4 Horsemen because I'm getting plenty of ammo at the boss fight, which is good. Okay, this is where machine gun comes in handy. I don't want to use my scout because it takes too long to kill them with the scout. So I just want to melt and get them weak. So the machine gun's a gun to get VIPs weak. And for ad clear. And for assistive damage. That is it. And for fresher damage. That's the role of Hammerhead in it. But it's playing it perfectly. Because think about it. How am I doing ad clear? How am I going to do effective ad clear with 4 Horsemen? I'm going to run out of ammo. If I try to shotgun every single ad in this, I will run out of ammo. Doesn't matter what build you've got on, you're going to run out of it. So I think the machine gun complements this loadout well. In some other loadouts, it might not complement it well. It might be better to have a GL on instead. So we also need to adapt our loadouts based on an exotic usage. I have some of the most unique solo GM clears on YouTube. I'm not saying that in a big-headed way. I'm saying that, no, I actually do. If you go on my GM playlist, you will see I have solo GMs with many, 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 many exotics. And I've been doing this for a long, long, long time. Okay? I have Colony. I have all sorts of things. I have Rat King. That's not the recent Rat King one. I'm referring to one in the past. I've solo GMs with pretty much a lot of different exotics. Not just running meta, running stuff that's not even meta at all. But the thing about it is I've learned a skill by doing that, and I'm trying to explain to you what the skill is. It's adapting with loadouts to make up for shitty exotics. You can make up for that by altering different weapon combinations. But to get the weapon combinations or the ideas in mind, you need to have a little bit of knowledge on what your exotic is capable of. So if you give me the worst exotic in the game, I will make a loadout of it. I can promise you I will. I'll make it work. I won't be one of these people that try a run and die and not do it again. I will go over and over until it works. And I will adjust things if I need to. That's the thing. So let's take Cerberus V, whatever that damn auto rifle's called. I can make a loadout work with that. It's not barrier auto rifle. It's not unstop barrier. It's not unstoppable auto rifle. So there's no champ mods for auto rifle. I could still make Cerberus work. Yeah, I would still be able to make it work. No problem. The run would take longer. Naturally, okay? Naturally, the run would take longer if I run Cerberus. But I could still make it work. Across Titan, Hunter, Warlock, whatever it might be. Make it work. And that's what I'm saying. It's a skill set that some of you won't develop because you're not willing to do this weird stuff. But that's fine, as long as you watch the weird stuff and give me a hand with it, because I'm trying to show you unique gameplay, then that's good. I am recommending, though, on a solo, if you do want to use Fourth Horseman, it's a recommendation of mine with the oscillation strat. If it wasn't oscillation, then maybe not. The damage isn't worth it on Fourth Horseman if you haven't got oscillation in general GM circumstance. Unless you're doing some niche speedrun, fair enough. But we're not doing, a niche speedrun. Speedrunners will be able to take advantage of Fourth Horseman very much this week. Okay, some of your best speedrunners on the solo GM scene will definitely be able to make good use of Fourth Horseman. It's just crazy good. It is crazy good. Okay, so the final waves here, we just need to melt this VIP, that's exactly what I'm doing now. We can just melt with shotgun, to be honest. I don't know why I just didn't do that right now. I'm actually really wasting time on the run, because this run's half decent. 32 minutes, 33 now. If I was to really try hard, I could definitely get this run around 25 minutes. If I've practiced and done a few runs and optimized the tank section, maybe, was a brave little Titan and used Fourth Horseman on the tank, if I was braver than now, then maybe. Yeah, for sure, definitely. But again, the video is just to get the point across that, look, this oscillation mod's up. It's not the end of the world. You can manipulate the mod to your fabric of time. You can do all sorts of different unique things with it. Or you can ignore the mod like I've taught you. At the start of the week, I taught you how to ignore the mod. You can do that as well. It's up to you, really. It's not the end of the world. On harder GMs, yeah, it is a little bit. Luminality will be a nightmare. My recommendation is just do not solo Luminality until after this week, because I believe the mod's going to go away after this week. I don't know that for certain, but last week, Luminality did not have oscillation on it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we're going to finish the boss off. We do Consecration, all in for Fourth Horseman, then we'll pop Super. We do not have Symphoceps proc, so we're not doing the good damage. But anyways, we trade, that's fine. We respawn, look, solo GM on that. Hope you enjoy, thank you.